I hope everybody had a nice long weekend. This is for the new week and for the new month of September. We are opening the pre-market trading here with the Dow called up about 99 points. Remember, world markets were higher on Monday, about 1-2% for most of the major market, and we are looking at Europe right now slightly down for the day. It was up yesterday, and you see that Japan was up 3% to begin the week. Let's take a look at commodities. You see that gold is slightly lower, and so is crude oil. All right, let's take a look at what weekly charts for the Nasdaq here. The Nasdaq is still above the 10-week moving average, which is, like I've been saying, positive in that it hasn't pulled back like the Dow has. So the Nasdaq still remains very constructive. If we take a look at the Nasdaq daily, we see that it still remains above the 50-day moving average. So that's a sign of a market that has strength. We also see that on the RSI, the Nasdaq has been holding this gray line here, which has been some kind of support. So we've seemed to be holding here. That could be a reason why the market is higher. The MACDs are about to slash below zero, and we see that there's an opportunity here for the MACD to roll over and move to the upside, but the main MACDs are just about to move below zero. That indicates to me that the momentum day to day could still be to the downside. We'll see where we close for the day and for the week. If we take a look at the Dow weekly, we see that unlike the Nasdaq, the Dow already broke down below the former buy point and also breaking and moving below this 10-week moving average, trying to find support at the 33-week moving average. Now, I'm going to have a webinar which is going to be on Thursday after the close, or about 30 minutes after the close, and I'm going to be discussing when to sell winning stocks and when to short winning stocks also. And this chart here could be a good example on why you should attend that webinar. So the Dow does look like it could be one of the main markets that is going to be showing us that the direction is lower. The one thing that last week we had was the moving below 50 on the RSI. So we closed below 50, and there's an opportunity this week, if the market chooses to move back above 50, which suggests the momentum net for the week is going to be to the upside. One thing about the Dow is, if we take a look at the Dow from a monthly chart, you see that the Dow is off this level here. So that could open the possibility for a lower movement. Now, the one thing we have to be always careful is, this is where the market was very strong once it moved above 69.10. But now if it starts moving back above 69.10, that's going to be suggestive of a market that is going to be very strong. Right now, using this chart by itself without more data, this tells me that the strong push with the S&P moving above 1700 is done for now. Now let's take a look at the Dow transports. Like the Dow, you'll notice the Dow transports have formed this, seem like a triple top on the monthly RSI. This is a monthly chart that indicates to me that momentum over weeks and over months could be to the downside. If we take a look at the S&P, you'll see that it too is now off this bullish level here, with the RSI trading at 67.68. If it moves back above 69.10, that's going to be suggestive to me that it's going to take out this 1700 level again. So we need to watch that. As of right now, it's backing off this strong momentum area and trying to pull lower. So month to month, maybe now we are starting to see a market that wants to go down in the coming months. As you can see also on the MACD here, there's been a crossover on the MACD there. That suggests that momentum month to month is now looking to the downside. Let's take a look at the Dow Transports weekly. And you can see, like the Dow, it failed to hold the breakout level and now moving below the 10-week moving average. Like I said, join me on that webinar on Thursday after the close. It's a free webinar, and I'll be discussing why the markets are starting to show signs of exhaustion, and probably the move month to month is gonna be to the downside for the rest of the year. We'll see what happens, but join that webinar. There should be a link in the description, and you should be able to sign up for that free webinar Thursday after the close. At about 30 minutes after the close, I should be able to be hosting that. Let's take a look at the Dow Transports daily, and you can see they are now below that 50-day moving average. They did try to hold here. As of Friday, we see that support is still possibly there given the trend line, because there's a trend line here. Let me draw a different trend line. There's a trend line there taking this low here, so this could be holding but back below the 50-day moving average. But right now the first red flag is moving below the 50-day moving average, so that's not a good sign. But again, on the RSI, there's hope, given that this is where the market has been bouncing. This line here has held the market together going back to late last year. It's been an area of bounce. Every time the market hit that level, there was a bounce. Here was this here area here. So we are trying to hold here, so this could eventually become an area where investors can go back into the market. If we take a look at the S&P 500 weekly, we see that also, like the Dow, it broke down below the buy point of 1667 and now trading below the 10-week moving average. So that's not good. We also saw that there was a break of this RSI support on the weekly and very close to 50. So there's a possibility that if the market turns negative for the week, the S&P 500 could slash 50 on the weekly RSI, and that could result to a net big down week. Crude oil market, and you see the buy point was 108.16, and we ended the week last week just below that after trading most of the week above that level. So that was the first red flag that crude oil could be stalling. So it needs to break out above 108.16 for this to be a breakout market. For now, the breakout is stalling, so you can start wondering whether this is even going to be successful to the upside. If you take a look at gold, gold ended the week or the month of August with the chart here. I suspect that this back test of the RSI could stall any movement in gold for now. So I still am of the view that gold has peaked short term. We also see that on the weekly RSI we hit 33-week moving average, and we seem to be stalling here. It's a 33-week moving average there, but I think the rollover of the RSI here could mean that short-term gold is due for a pullback. Eric Mwatha with Mwatha.com. Don't forget to sign up for that free webinar Thursday after the close. At about 30 minutes after the close, I should be able to be discussing some of the reasons why the market is starting to look toppy and ways for you to short winning stocks or to get out of winning stocks. Eric Mwatha, good luck, enjoy the week. Peace. I am out.